driving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning to you and to me and anybody else. All right. Oh, I'm sitting there waiting on something, but that's not going to happen. Oh, happy Sunday. We were going to be in the big book, page 152. Or somewhere around there. I usually tend to switch it around a little bit. Do a little bit of sharing here. I'm going to send it to all the places. Just oops, I think I just shared it twice in one group. Obi Welby one Kenobi. Obi Welby. I have a new comment here on Facebook. I don't. Yay. It's kind of the group set I'm in. It's just an auto. They put me on auto host. They know I don't fuck around. So yes, this is a Elway jersey. Polka dot. Numbers retired. So, but yeah. My cats are, man, they are. All right, enough. Yes, okay. Between the four of you, you've been swiping my legs all morning. I've had enough. Dear Lord. Where are we trying to get to here? Yeah. Okay. My book hit the space bar, so I started playing it. So, okay. I didn't know that was the shortcut. I do now. I do now. So 152, which is in A Vision for You. The last chapter in the first 164 pages. All right. We always tend to read the yeah, but see, it's still gonna be that way. Let's go ahead and just start at the beginning of A Vision for You. That is refreshing. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Most people that usually jump on here, they're kind of busy, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get started for the rewatchers here, so you don't have to listen to me dilly-dally for several minutes first. So, but welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I'm your host. I have been for 7 years and for the foreseeable future. Unless somebody comes along and says, hey, Dion, I'd like to take that over. And my answer would be, yeah, go start your own. You're here. Please say hello, whether watching the live or the rewatch. The live or the rewatch. I think, you know what? My brain is going back. Hold on here. I think I have my years wrong. I do. No, 6 years. I think it's 6 years. I'm going to have to check. I think it's 6, though. How'd I get 7? Because here's the thing, I'm 8 years sober, but I'm almost 9 years. Okay, no, it is 7. Okay. I suck at math. I suck at math. You want to know why I suck at math? Because I say I suck at math. All right. It's the dyslexia. I don't do it with words as much as I do it with numbers. Yeah. I just see them differently. I have to use a calculator quite often just to make sure. When I did the measurements for the windows, I did it 3 times just to make sure, and it's still wrong. Or for curtains, not for windows. All right. For most normal folk, drinking means conviviality, companionship, and colorful imagination. Does it really, though? Does it really? I don't know. It means release from care, boredom, and worry. Sure, I can go with that. It is a joyous intimacy with friends and the feeling that life is good. Not so good with those last days of heavy drinking. I'm going to tell you now, I don't know what they're talking about here. I did join in on, sure, I had some good times here and there, but if there wasn't not enough alcohol, then I wasn't really. Usually I was tolerating. I was trying to fit in. Didn't quite work. I didn't have any of this joyous intimacy with friends until I got to the program. Right? I didn't have many friends. Still don't. I have more friends now than I've ever had before. Tell you that. All right. But not so with us in those last days of heavy drinking. The old pleasures were gone. They were but memories. Never could we recapture the great moments of the past. There was an insistent yearning to enjoy life as we once did, and the heartbreaking obsession that some numerical control would enable us to do it. There was always one more attempt and one more failure. Man, my last roommate is on my mind. Shit, I owe him money. Okay. I don't remember his name. Maybe my wife would. If I could find my old address or something, maybe I could write him. All right. So there was always one more attempt and one more failure. That, and it said that some numerical of control would enable us to do it. There's not going to make any. If they came out with a cure for alcoholism, it'd have to be a brain transplant. I don't know, because this is a mental illness, and that's like trying to say you're going to cure my trauma. You're just to make it go away. Well, the only way that would happen is if it was removed, if the memories were removed from my brain. It's the only way that it would happen for me. Right? The less people tolerated us, the more we withdrew from society, from life itself. That I get. There are a lot of people that tried to be friends with me. Or were. Okay. But just like, like I've been watching Daredevil lately. And this whole I gotta do it myself freaking God complex that he has. I understand it. That being around me is dangerous, and you're a pretty good person. I don't want that to happen to you. That's usually what it was. Yeah. The only person I didn't and couldn't run off was Shannon, my wife. And I didn't even really try and run her off. I knew better. Right. My mom, same thing. I did not try and run her off. I ignored her a lot. Right. As we became subjects of King Alcohol, shivering denizens of his mad realm, the chilling vapor that is loneliness settled down. It thickened, ever becoming blacker. Some of us sought out sordid places, hoping to find understanding, companionship, and approval. There it is for most of us, actually. It isn't so much, and of course, this is opinion, that it isn't so much that, it isn't so much, sorry, other things keep popping in my head. Oh, that I wanted to drink like other people as much as I just wanted a place to belong. That would be the truth. Because I knew from the age of 14 that I was an alcoholic. It was very clear. Okay. They gave me a, do you act like this? I'm like, fuck, yeah, I do. No, I would deny it, but I knew. Momentarily we did, then would come then would come oblivion, the awful awakening to face of hideous four horsemen. Terror, bewilderment, frustration, despair. Unhappy drinkers who read this page will understand. Now and then, a serious drinker being dry at the moment says, I don't miss it at all. Feel better, work better, having a better time. As ex-problem drinkers, we smile at such a sally. We know our friend is like a boy whistling in the dark to keep up his spirits. He fools himself. Inwardly, he would give anything, take half a dozen drinks, and get away with them. And get away with it. See? So we can go back to in this case, we can go back to the drunk horse thief. Good morning, Michelle. It's good to see you. We can go back to the drunk horse thief. Okay. People use that. The thing is if we're going to use an example, then let's use the example. And in this case, if I have a drunk horse thief and I take away the alcohol, what I have is a sober horse thief who is better at stealing horses, but that's not it. It's the getting away with it that is the thrill. That's the thrill. I got away with it. Well, if I got away with it once, I can get away with it again. See, and that thrill in and of itself is an addiction. You ever met thrill seekers that'll like jump off anything? They seem so careless about the world. Now, guess what, my folks, my friends? Yeah. I didn't necessarily do illegal things out of necessity. I did them because I was getting away with it. He will presently try the old game again, for he isn't happy about his sobriety. He cannot picture life without alcohol. Someday, he'll be unable to imagine life either with alcohol or without it. Then he will know loneliness such as few do. He will be at the jumping off place. He will wish for the end. This right here is usually, because it's we disclose our stories in a general way. What it was like, what happened, and what it's like now. It's not very often that I go to a meeting and I hear people say, what happened? What was it that made you decide this was it? There was a finalization there. Maybe you fell and broke the coffee table. You woke up and you were just so disgusted by what you had done the night before that you just cannot do it again. Maybe you woke up this morning and stubbed your toe because you were hungover and that was enough. It's enough for me. It's enough for me. I'll take any reason for you to get sober. Bet. Now we got to quit running around saying that you can only get sober for yourself, because that is untrue. It is not true. The steps we got to do ourselves. But recovery includes everybody in my life. Everyone. And therefore, okay, it's still the same for me. I am sober for my wife and kids. I keep it that way. But I do the other part for me so that I can be better for my wife and kids. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's selfish, but it's a good selfish. Okay? We have shown you how we got out from under. You say, yes, I'm willing, but am I going to be consigned to a life where I shall be stupid, boring, and glum like some righteous people I see? I know I must get along without liquor, but how can I? Have you a sufficient substitute? A couple things wrong with that. Number one, we don't know that their life is stupid, boring, and glum. To them, some people want peace. They want quiet. They find serenity there. Some find it in joy and friendship and other things like the alcoholics. Okay. They may have their reasons. So there's the first problem. Yeah, that's exactly it, Michelle. It's got to have, for any alcoholic to get sober, it must have depth and weight. There's the depth and weight. the alcoholic that comes to the person when I'm 12 stepping somebody, I am not necessarily the depth and weight. I mean, I am, but I'm the one that brings it because I will ask certain questions. Is once an alcoholic figures out how badly they are affecting the people that they love, they tend to change. So I use it. Bet. I use it. You married? No. Got kids? No. What am I going for? I'm going for the pain. Guess what's next? Because I usually work with men, right? Mom. Talk to your mom a lot. Oh, I talk to her a lot. There it is. Now I found it. I found it. I'm gonna use it. Do you know how bad you're hurting her? No. If they have kids, it's even. Could you imagine your kid doing what you're doing? Oh shit! Because they're gonna do it if you continue doing this. Yeah. So, all right. Now, do we have a sufficient substitute? Yes, we do. You bet. There is a substitute, and it's vastly more than that is the Fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous. There you will find release from care, boredom, and worry. Your imagination will be fired. Life will mean something at last. The most satisfactory years of your existence lie ahead. Thus, we find the fellowship, and so will you. Should we keep going? Yeah, let's do a couple more paragraphs. Why not? How is that to come about, you ask? Where am I to find these people? You are going to meet these new friends in your own community. Near you, alcoholics are dying helplessly like people in a sinking ship. If you live in a large place, there are hundreds, high and low, rich and poor. These are future fellows of Alcoholics Anonymous. Among them, you will make lifelong friends. You will be bound to them with new and wonderful ties, where you will escape disaster together, and you will commence shoulder to shoulder your common journey. They will know what it means to give. Then you will know what it means to give of yourself that others may survive and rediscover life. You will learn the full meaning of love thy neighbor as thyself. There's a key there. There's a suggestion there. There's some information there. And it's saying that I need to learn how to love myself. And once I learn how to love myself, then can I love my neighbor as I would love myself. But if I'm still beating up on myself, if I'm still condescending myself, calling myself names, living in self-pity, being angry all the time, it's not going to connect. It won't happen because you cannot transmit something you do not have. That includes serenity and joy and happiness. Mm-hmm. January 5th. Only an alcoholic can understand the exact meaning of the statement like this one. I'm going to go ahead and read because it was in there, but since it's referring to it directly, I'm going to start over. He cannot picture life without alcohol. Someday he will be unable to imagine life either with alcohol or without it. Then he will know loneliness such as few do. He will be at the jumping off place. He will wish for the end. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 152. Only an alcoholic can understand the exact meaning of the statement like this one. Yes. There's a lot of times I hear people they'll say something in a meeting and they follow it up with, I hope you understand what I'm saying. If you're an alcoholic, every single person in that room understands what you're saying. You don't need to worry about that anymore. You don't need to explain yourself in AA. You don't need excuses either, because we don't accept them. What we do is progress. We're about progress. We're about finding the solution to whatever is going on. Okay, and maybe there's sometimes maybe you go to a meeting and you're doing just fine, but because you are doing fine, you get to hear a lot more, right? There's a lot of, isn't it nice you don't have to talk about your loneliness in the meetings? We'll talk about loneliness in and of itself, but you don't have to try and describe your loneliness to us because we already get it. And that in and of itself is a freedom. It's one thing I stopped describing loneliness to people because all it did was made me feel more lonely. So I stopped. Now I don't need to. There are people that understand without me having to say anything. The double standard that held me captive as an active alcoholic also filled me with terror and confusion. If I don't get a drink, I'm going to die, competed with if I can kill me. Both compulsive thoughts pushed me ever closer to the bottom. The bottom produced a total acceptance of my alcoholism with no reservations whatsoever, and one that was absolutely essential for my recovery. It was a dilemma unlike anything I had ever faced, but I found out later on a necessary one if I was to succeed in this program. And we call it the gift of desperation, which, there again, most outside folks may not understand. Some might. There's a lot of people that have found God through the gift of desperation that are non-alcoholic. Yeah. All right. I'd start calling them NAers, but there's a group called NA, non-alcoholic. So, no, I don't want you rubbing on my leg anymore. It's so staticky. All right. That's going to be it for today. Counter isn't even working today. So thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. Peace out. And have a day.